everyone. Thank you for joining the webinar. Here I am Gilberto Braglia. I am here with David Mainwaring from Service Solutions. And today we're gonna talk about monitoring solutions applied to construction sites to maximize the safety, basically. So just to start, let me say that if you, during all the webinar, you have any questions, you can just write them in the Q&A box. You should have on your screen a Q&A button to write some questions, and we're going to answer all the questions at the end, both me and David for sure. So just to present us, I am Gilberto Braglia. I am the head of sales here at MyMove Solutions. I am here with Devin Mainwaring, which is the director of a company that is working a lot with us, especially in the UK, which is Service Solutions. So thank you, David, for being here. I'll leave you the floor later to talk about your company and your projects, of course. I am really happy to have you here doing this webinar with you. So I just picked some time to explain about the company. I'm talking about MyMove Solutions and the system and the services which we provide. And then I leave the floor to David to talk about an actual project at the Excel, which is a really good project that we made, that they made in London. So MyMove Solutions is a company, it's a pretty young company. We started in 2017, studying basically telecommunications and radio protocols for the Internet of Things. And we focused on low power wide area network, which are basically radio communications protocol, which allow to transmit little data over high distances with a really, really low power consumption. And then we structured a system focused on monitoring of the structure health monitoring. And with a IoT core inside it. And then after that, we basically expanded the company all over the world. Now we are working from, of course, we started from Italy, but we're working around all the world, from the USA and Canada to Australia, of course, a lot in UK, which is the case where we're talking about today, and basically in every country around the world, with thousands of working systems everywhere. So let me talk a little bit about what we've been working on, what we provide. So we designed a system which is based on wireless sensors. We call them sensors. They are actually devices. They are full devices and they have inside the sensor element, the power with an onboard battery, and of course the first level of signal elaboration, first level of computation, let me say, and then the antenna and the transmission part. So they're closed boxes, very easy to install. They are usually installed with just 2 screws in the wall, or with other let me say manners, and they're provided already powered, so they're really easy. You just have to go in place, install the sensor, power a central unit, and then the system is online. No configuration is needed. You just need to go to your home or your office and then set up everything later. So after that, we have a software part, which is not just an interface to check the data, but is an asset management software, which is used to set up the sensor, to check the data, and then to elaborate the data. So we have a let me say a calculation level where we provide some tools, some algorithms. Many of them are AI powered, and they're made to let me say, to start from data and take out structural information to understand what's going on my structure and how is aging, of course. So this is one of our added value, because we basically provide a full package where we easy basically all the job of the structural engineers, of the surveyors, because they can use our tools to take advantage and to be quicker on the elaboration of all the data, of course. So after that, we provide several layers of monitoring. Let me say, usually when we talk about wireless monitoring, we're talking about static measurement. So we talk about usually crack meters, tilt meters, load cells, strain gauges. I mean, this is a kind of monitoring which is just one measure every 10 minutes, for example. That's it. Why this? This is because when you go wireless, it's really hard to transmit a lot of data. And so usually what is provided is just a point of measure every time. What we wanted to develop is the dynamic monitoring on a wireless network. So we invested a lot to develop a system which is made also of accelerometers, vibrometers, dynamic displacement sensors that can provide a full waveform, a full high sampling signal of a vibration, for example, an acceleration, for example. This is something that is unique in the wireless world, and it's something that brings basically a full monitoring system, which is both static, which is dynamic as well, and then of course we provide all the environmental monitoring as well. So air, wind, of course, measurements, rainfall and temperature, humidity, and everything around that. So we provide a full system from all the layers of monitoring to all the software for elaboration. So that's what we provide. Let me talk a little bit about our new software, which we have developed in the last year. So it is called MyMove, and it's a next step on our software, because it's not anymore just a monitoring software, but it's an asset manager. So first, it's multi-project. So every user can have several structure under him and can have a clear view of what's going on all of its structure. After that, we provide a layer of custom charts and custom dashboards. So every customer is free to combine different measures of different sensors together to correlate them and understand very, very well which parameter is due, or let me say, which parameter is influenced from another parameter, of course. I can see acceleration over temperature, over a crack expansion, or anything, whatever I want. These are charts that every customer can save and create its own dashboard, and more users can work together on this and can see each other if it's allowed. Settings can see the charts that the others created, and so this is a space where the users can work together. After that, we just released the reports. So what we understood is that a very big part of the work of our customers is developing reports for their their customers. To every time they had to take out data, create, let me say, long reports. They have to write a lot of things, etc., and blah blah blah. So what we develop is a system where you can create the template of your own report. And so David from Service Solution can place their logo, can write whatever they want, can create the charts that they want, taking them also from the charts that they saved in their dashboard, and create the report. And then it's done. And the platform downloads it for you, and you can just send it to your customers. So that's something where we invested a lot, and now the result is really good, let me say. Of course, after that, the system provides a multi-layer of alarms, especially in the working site. For example, we are talking today, it's requested to have an eye on all the vibration, all the tilts, to be sure that things continue going well. So we developed several layers of alarms to see how it's going and what measures are going over the threshold that you can set, of course. So just a quick overview on the applications that we have. So we have a very high case history on construction sites monitoring, and let me say construction sites and building monitoring, a lot of bridges, vertical structures, and railways. So those are the most common cases that we have in terms of monitoring applications. Of course, we also have several other stuff. We have, for example, a lot of monuments and historical buildings in Italy. We have some dams, we have some mining sites. Those are residuals. These are the ones where we have our let me say best expertise. And today we are talking about the construction sites. So you can imagine in the construction sites, it's really important to check all the works are going well. So we can monitor basically construction site for buildings, for tunnels, for high rises and whatever, both in dynamic, environmental, and static ways. So we have tons of examples of what we are doing and what we can do in terms of the applications in the construction sites. Every structure is different, but basically what we developed are some layouts that can be applied to, let me say, standard buildings, and then we can customize them on the specific building and the specific working site. You can understand how much this can reduce the risks and save money. It's not needed anymore to go on site and doing, let me say, daily or weekly measurements, because you have everything automated, all the data coming on the platform. You can check, you can automate the thresholds, the alarms, whatever. And like this, of course, the downtime of the workers and on the working machines are reduced, and you can save a lot of money. So now I'm happy to leave the floor to David, who can present himself and explain about a really nice, really important case study that we have done in London.
Thank you for the welcome, Gilberto. Much appreciated. Really good oversight into what we receive as way of products from Move Solutions. We've had a long-serving relationship and a really good partnership with themselves and Visualize Survey Equipment, their UK distribution partner. So as form of introduction, my name is David Mainwaring. I'm New Business Development Director for Survey Solutions in the UK. A bit about our background. We're a UK leading engineering survey and monitoring provider. The company is over 22 years old. When I started 6 years ago, we had 90 people, and now we're up to 180 people in the organisation, and a national presence of now 10 regional offices, which makes us extremely flexible and be able to act quickly and directly to our clients. We offer a broad range of structured and monitoring solutions, including environmental solutions for our clients. And we work across a diverse range of project sectors from MOD, construction, civil engineering, infrastructure. But what the project I want to speak to you about today was the Excel Exhibition Centre in London. Just as way of introduction as well, Survey Solutions offer a broad range of CPDs that can be delivered on a regional basis by our survey manager or my colleague, our major clients director, Greg Norman, and it covers all disciplines of survey, engineering and monitoring. So a bit about this project. We're working for the principal contractor for the project of McLaren. We're working for the groundwork company Gallagher Group. The aim of the project was to increase the existing capacity of the existing Excel Centre to make it Europe's largest fully integrated conference and exhibition centre. The scope of our work under the groundwork scheme was to monitor the newly constructed sheet pile wall to detect any potential movement during the excavation of the subsurface corridor. So basically they're designing a corridor through the length of the project, which will house all of the infrastructure that will allow the exhibition centre to perform on a daily basis. So next I'm just going to show you a small video. It's only a couple of minutes long, just to give you an idea of what the project was all about. So hopefully that gave you a good introduction to the project. Gallagher Group, who we were working for, the groundwork company, a long-serving client of ours, very well respected in the industry. When they gave us the specification for the project to monitor something, I'll show you the numbers in a minute, we initially thought of monitoring using total station, fully automated total station, but because of the longitudinal nature of the project and the limited line of sight that we had, we were looking at 8 to 10 total stations fully automated at a cost over the length of the project exceeding £300,000. So talking with the technical team at MyMove and visualising the UK as well, we devised a solution with MyMove sensor solution, which I'll describe in a minute, where we could significantly reduce this cost and still give them the security, the asset holders, the security that we were constantly monitoring 24/7 their structure. So by way of numbers, so I'll just move my screen because I've got a picture of Gilberto straight over the top of the numbers. 180 meters was the total length of excavation of this new service corridor. 3,000 cubic tons of cubic meters of materials to be excavated. The project was broken up into 6 corridors, so 6 sections as we went through the project, from the existing Excel Centre out between the 2 hotels to the east of the exhibition hall, which people who know the area will understand that was a bit of derelict land. And then 48 was the total number of triaxial tilt sensors, 8 per section, that we installed throughout the duration of the project. 12 weeks to complete each of the 6 sections, making the project just under 18 months in total. And the most important number for our clients was 0 hours, and that was the number of hours lost due to unexpected sheet pile movements, which was the most successful story of all. So if we look at this picture here, you can see the extent of the existing Excel on the left, and the right-hand side was phased through. We've got 2 curved buildings here, a hotel, another hotel, walkways through, the Docklands light rail infrastructure, the existing Excel Centre. So the prime objective of our monitoring for the project was safety of general public who were travelling between these hotels and the exhibition centre while it has been live the whole time. The safety of the workforce that were working in the trenches. And then the third point was making sure that there was 0, or never 0, but as minimal within tolerance movement as possible, so they can continue their excavation works uninterrupted, which they did and were pleased about, obviously. So these are the excavation drawings going from the first one, sections 1 and 2. I said it was split into 6 sections. On the left-hand side of section 1 and 2, this is where it meets and abuts up to the existing halls. You can see the corrugated sheet piling all the way around, of which is 180 meters, but about 400 meters of sheet piling was installed to a depth of 10 meters. Once that was installed, they started the top part of the excavation down to about 1 meter, 1.5 meters, so that they could put in the supports and the trusses across to make sure when they excavated to the full depth of 5 meters, that the trenches were propped and the workforce could work comfortably inside. And then the 5th and the 6th section was going out further east towards the hotel, where it had sort of a big ring at the end where they had stairwells, lifts as well to get through to the service areas. So I just realigned the first phase of the drawing so it sort of aligns to the drawing so you can make sense of it. On the right-hand side here, you can see this is where it abuts to the existing east face of the Excel Centre. So the service trench should be coming through. You can see an operative in the bottom of the trenches here. And this is ultimate safety, making sure that these people are working. You can see the rebars being constructed for the pour of concrete. The trusses were put in for the props, and you'll see in very small here, our MyMove Solutions triaxial tilt sensors. So these sensors, we've got a good working relationship, as I said, of several years with MyMove Solutions. We have in excess of 400 different sensors, but the majority being tilt sensors. So each of these have a life expectancy, the battery life of 5 to 7 years. So extremely economical. They're the only point that needed power was the communications gateway, which was housed in the port cabins, the site offices with 24-hour power source. They're able on the single node to pick up the low RAR communication to over 200 sensors. Like I said, there was only 72 employees, so we only had 1 gateway. So there's 1 power source and 1 gateway through the whole of the construction. Again, this is another abutment sticking out, but you can see slightly better here, the tilt sensors. So 3 along here. The reason we have 3 in the rows, we can look for deformation as well. So rather than giving you just the movements, we could give you any sort of heave or settlement that's happening between the sensors. When we installed the tilt sensors, a monitoring target was put onto each one, because you may or may not be aware, but tilt sensors will just give you a movement in 3 axes. They will not give you a coordinate movement. So it won't tell you it started at eastern, northern, XXX, and then it's now moved to a new coordinates. So if we do detect movement on any of the sensors that exceeds or breaches the predefined tolerances from the civil engineers, we'll then go in and resurvey them to give an absolute coordinate difference so that they can make plans and then do some temporary works or remediation works to continue. But like I said, they had 0 hours down. It was just peace of mind that kept them going throughout the projects and kept everybody safe, which was their penultimate goal. There's only one temporary closure, and that was the Formula E that came through the middle of the site. Incredibly, we can see in the background there's our site offices for McLaren and Gallagher. DLR was still running live, and they held the Grand Prix there last year, which is happening again next month. The trenches have now been finished, but you can see at the end they're coming just past. This was last July, so they're just coming past the first hotel while construction was underway, and managed to safely run a Grand Prix while the works were set down for 10 days. And this is the current progress. So now the trench is in, the superstructure has gone up, and this picture was taken about 3 or 4 weeks ago when I visited an exhibition at the Excel Centre, and they allowed me to go up in one of their MUPs and take a photograph of progress. And then next week, I'm not sure how many of you will be going, but the GeoBusiness exhibition for our industry is being held at the Excel. So be sure to go out and have a look, because it's extremely impressive, and there'll be a lot more activity going on and a lot of changes to what you can see there. So firstly, I'd like to thank Move Solutions for being a great partner with us here and being able to come up with an idea that we went back to the structural engineers and made them aware. I think it was the educating the actual clients into the technologies that we can use in keeping their keeping their work sites as safe as possibly can. So thank you for your attention, and I'll hand back over to Gilberto.
Yes, here I am. Thank you, Dave, very much for your really nice presentation. I really appreciate it a lot. I mean, it's impressive talking about, I mean, the that structure, which is huge, that's being monitoring during all the phases without any interruption. So congratulations for all of your work, of course. Before passing to any eventual questions, let me just say, let me say, talk about our next webinar. So we're basically talking about monitoring that we made with the Academy Geomatics, which is another partner of us in the UK, with who we are working very well during these years. It's by the end of June. We're talking about smart track and landslides monitoring solutions. So Francesco is going to be there talking with together with Mark about this case. Apart from that, if you need any information, I mean, of course, subscribe to our newsletter to get any updates, new information, webinars, case studies, and everything. And if you have any information that you may request, you can just write to us at info@movesolutions.it. And that's it. Let me check if there are any questions for me or for Dave. So someone asked, do you also provide monitoring, layout, or working sites, or do you just sell sensors? Okay, no, of course, we do have a pre-sale department that is made by structural engineers who are very used to work with our sensors and our solutions. So if you have, for example, a case, I mean, you have a working site, you have a building, but you have any application, even if it is a bridge, a vertical high-rise or whatever, you can just send us what you have. So, I mean, if you have some pictures, some projects or whatever, together with our dealer, which, as David said, in the UK is Visualize, we can provide a proposal of layout, I mean, very specific for the structure you sent us. And then we can discuss together if you need something more specific, if you need something more, let me say, cheap. Let's see what you need. Okay. Let me check. That's another one. Is it possible to set up regular reports to be sent to me, or do I need to create them from scratch every time? Of course, the first time you have to create your own template in the reporting page. So you go there, you set up everything. I mean everything. I mean from the title, the logo, pictures, text of various dimensions, whatever. You can import your and create your charts that are on the report, of course. And when you're satisfied, when it's ready, you can save it. And every time you need it, you just go to the reporting page, you refresh the data with the let me say last days or weeks or months of data, and you download it again. So first time you have to set it up. After that, it's basically automated. And one of the next features that we're going to develop about the reports is, let me say, the cadence. So you can select that you want a report like this every month, for example, and the system sends you that every month, for example. Okay. I don't know. Okay. I think.
Gilberto, just in answer to that question as well, I probably didn't elaborate enough on the tolerances that we can put inside the system. So if our structural engineer says that we allow tolerances of 3 millimeters per meter, we can use the pi and fisa signs to use that to, if it is exceeded, it will send out via text message or an email alert to our client. They can be connected to audible sirens on site and physical beacons, so people working on plant can see them. So if the threshold is reached where work has to stop, that can trigger different mechanisms. And then weekly reports can be done. If somebody wants the previous week's analysis, they can have that on their desk 9 o'clock on the Monday morning.
Yep. So sorry, Dave, I just lost the last part of what you said. I think it's my problem of connection. So I was at the when you talked about the beacon. Then what is it after?
So we can set up, we can use the API. So if our tolerances are breached on site, so if we exceed the 3 millimeter, 5 millimeter tolerance that the structural engineer has used, we can use that to trigger third-party devices. So you can have a beacon, a flashing beacon on site, so that plant operatives that can't hear an audible can actually see that red beacons go flashing, so they can stop work immediately.
Exactly. So let me say that's not a full system that we currently provide, but everything that we provide. I mean, both the data, both the algorithm, both data and the algorithms, and of course also the alarms are available through APIs. Of course. So if you're able to connect a third party, let me say flasher, I mean speaker or whatever, buzzer, whatever, to our APIs, you're free to do whatever you want. Of course, that's what I mean. The decision to work through APIs is that because a lot of customers use their own platform sometimes. So they have a platform when all the data go. So, for example, with some total stations, some other third-party sensors or whatever. And so we developed everything through APIs just to be able to send the data to third-party platform. Someone did it also with hardware, so decided to connect APIs or MQTT signals as well. We provide them as well to something that works in place. So of course. Okay. Okay, I think there are no other questions. So let me say thank you everyone for joining the webinar. The recording of the webinar for you and for the others who maybe subscribed but didn't join is going to be sent to the email that you registered in some days, so you can check everything, even if you haven't the time to pay attention all the time. Thank you again, David, for joining us. It's been really a pleasure. And see you and see everyone that can join next week in Joe Business, which is, as David said, in the Excel London. So it would be a nice opportunity to meet us and to see, the structure itself. Thank you, everyone. Have a good day.
Thank you.